or around your classroom, you might focus in on a detail like a map, and looking at that map, I might think, I wonder where I should set my next story. Where should it take place? And I go over to my map and I randomly wave around my hand and I put it somewhere and it lands in Altai, Mongolia. So I've never heard of Altai, Mongolia, but that's all the more interesting. Maybe I can find out more about Mongolia and learn about it so that I can set a really interesting story there. So I could get some interesting ideas from some of the things around me. Okay, so back over here, and here's, okay, do that, looking around the classroom. Asking questions can be very, very helpful. It's kind of surprising because you think, oh, asking questions doesn't seem that much like a writing inspiration, but have you ever heard the saying, curiosity killed the cat? Raise your hand if you have. Okay, yeah, it's a pretty old saying, so some of you may not have heard of it, but it's okay to ask questions. In fact, it's great, because we're not cats, right? When you ask questions, you're learning new things and getting ideas. When you ask questions, you're in good company. What I mean by that is, when you're asking questions about the way things work, or why this works like this, or how we could make something easier, then that's something that people have been doing for a long time. Because the reason we have new medicines and laundry machines is because people asked, how can we wash clothes easier? Or how can we stop people from getting sick? So asking questions can not only give you ideas from writing, it can help you come up with brand new ideas in other fields as well. Now another type of question is the what if question. So maybe asking yourself, what if dinosaurs invaded my town? Or what if a volcano erupted? Or what if I had superpowers? Then that kind of question can help you think of your own stories. So for instance, what if dinosaurs invaded my town? What would I do? Now I think I would be pretty scared. I think we would hide in the basement and bring down all our frozen food and things and wait while the dinosaurs went on a rampage, because our basement is only visible from the backyard, which is hard to get to. So that might be something I would do. Now you could think about what you would do, and that might give you an idea for a story. So sometimes if you're stuck, then asking yourself a question like that could help you come up with a sort of invention for your story, or maybe asking a what if question can help you come up with ideas. So now, would you like to come up with your own what if question? You can raise your hand.
Come up with your own what if question. What would you come up with? What if relax so we can hear you. What's your question?
What if you're attacked by people?
What if you got attacked by other people?
What if you got attacked by other people? Oh, I hope not. Well, that would be too bad, and you'd probably go to the police and tell them what happened. I think that's usually standard procedure. Yeah, you go to the police. Okay, so that is an interesting what if question. Would anybody else like to tell me a what if? So use your imagination.
What if you're going and your house got burned down?
What if you were maybe, going out and then your house burned down? You know, that is a very interesting what if question. A lot of people have had to face that one in reality. In fact, there was a 911 operator, so when you call 911, this was the person who connected to you, and he received a call from his neighbor, and the neighbor said the house next to me is burning, and the 911 operator was like, what address? And then he heard his own address. The 911 operator had to receive the call about his own house burning. So I think that would be an even worse situation to be in. He must have been very nervous, and it was his own neighbor who was calling him. And then the firefighters who went on the scene, one of them was the 911 operator's cousin. So maybe it was a small town where everybody was related somehow, but that I thought was pretty interesting. So what if your house burned down while you were away, or maybe you were actually taking the call about it? Any other what if questions?
Michael? if your car burned?
Okay, what if your car burned? Now, we might want to go away from the burn, but yeah, that's a valuable question. Another one might be, what if we were on a road trip and we were in an area without cell phone coverage that was really remote and the car broke down and we didn't have any food? That would be pretty scary. And the reason I might think of that is because this summer I went with my family on a trip to Yellowstone National Park, and we were driving on this really winding kind of byway that was kind of in the backwoods of Idaho, and it was like there was no cell phone coverage. So that made me think of that kind of what if question. Read. Raise your hand if you like to read. Yay, I see pretty much everybody's raised your hand, and if you don't have a hand up, I hope you will soon, because reading is very fun. Now, for reading, the thing that I like very much is that when you read all kinds of books, you can get ideas, not just one type. For instance, when I read nonfiction, which you might think is a little boring, but when I read history nonfiction, it can actually be very exciting, and I can get ideas for stories. So for instance, I really love castles and kings and queens and royalty from long, long ago, and so I enjoy reading books about those times and Queen Elizabeth of England and all these different monarchs and various people. And so reading it, I'm able to come up with ideas for my stories. One of my stories in Flying Fingers, it's called Auduma and the Amulet. It takes place in ancient Egypt, actually, and I was really inspired to write that story after I read all about ancient Egypt. So you can come up with lots of ideas from the things you read. Who would like to tell me something that they've read recently?